Okay, so we have been estimating quotients this week. And the very first thing that you do when you estimate a quotient is you have to begin by rounding both your divisor and your dividend. So let's just start by looking at this problem. We have 34,286 divided by 56. Now, we are not setting this up and dividing using long division. No, we're just going to be estimating. That's all we're doing. And what is the quotient, you may ask? The quotient is the answer to a division problem. So all we're doing is estimating the answer. We are estimating the quotient. On this week's quiz, we're going to be looking at this number, and this number. All three of these are going to be part of your answer, and they're all three going to be graded. Okay, so with that said, let's begin. When we're estimating, the very first thing we want to do is we want to round. And let's not start by rounding 34,286. No, let's not do that. Let's make it as easy on ourselves as possible. Let's start by rounding the 56. Now, normally when we round to a certain place. Like we'll round to the tens place or the hundreds place. In this case, when you're estimating, it's actually okay to not follow all of the typical rounding rules. But just go ahead and look at 56 and think what you can round 56 to that would hopefully help you solve this estimating problem. Think about what you might round 56 to. Some of you are thinking you might go with 50. Some of you are thinking you might go with 60. I'm going to go ahead and round to 60. But it's true that 50 would have worked as well if you went that route. Both of those answers would have been acceptable here. So now that we've rounded 56 to 60, and in this case 60 is simply the nearest 10, right? We're going to look at rounding 34,286 because that is just this huge 5-digit number, and we do want to round it so that we can better work with it, because hopefully we'll be able to estimate in our head. So we want to think about our 6 times tables, okay? 6 times 1 is 6. 6 times 2 is 12. And you can even come over to the side and you can write that out. Of course, I'm typing mine, but you can even start and you can say 6 times 1 is 6. And then you can say 6 times 2 is 12. And then 6 times 3 is 18. And 6 times 4 is 24. And 6 times 5 is 30. And 6 times 6 is 36. Now, I can keep on going. But really, there's no need for me to keep on going. Why? Why not? Well, let me change colors here and I will try to show you why not. Because 34,286 starts with the number 34. What we're trying to do is think about a basic fact. 6 times what gives us a number close to 34? Well, we've got 30 and we've got 36. So we could actually use either one of these. 36 is closer to 34, so I'm going to go with that. I'm going to round that 34 to 36, and of course my place value here for the 2, the 8, the 6, the hundreds, the tens, and the ones places are all going to be zeros. And what I have done is I have rounded 34,286 to 36,000. And again, why did I do that? I did that because of this right here. Because 6 times 6 is 36. It's a basic fact. See, it's right here. 6 times 6 is 36. I am wanting to have numbers that go together. They're called compatible numbers. I want my two numbers to go together. I want them to be compatible numbers. I want them to work nicely together so that I can divide, hopefully even in my head. But we're in the 5th grade. Don't try to do it in your head. Go ahead and do it on paper just to be sure. Okay, so now I'm left with 36,000 divided by 60. So the very first thing that I'm going to look at is I'm going to look at my zeros, because a lot of times we have zeros that can cancel each other out. If I have a 0 here, you know what? And I have a 0 here, they cancel each other out. And it just helps me out to where I'm not working with numbers quite as big as I had been working with before. When I cancel out those two zeros, I am now left with 3,600 divided by 6. And so that's a lot easier for me to work with. Now looking at 3,600 divided by 6, let's just look at our basic fact. Focus on that basic fact, which is 36 divided by 6. Well, what is 36 divided by 6? We're going to know that because of our 6 timetables, right? 36 divided by 6 is 6. Now, we still have these two zeros here. They're just going to come right over here and tag along at the end of our answer. So an estimate for 34,286 divided by 56, an appropriate estimate would be 600. And that is it. That's what we've been doing this week, and that is what we're going to be doing on our math quiz on Friday. Please let me know if you need help. Please let me know if you want to see me work some more problems. Good luck, guys.